Hey everybody, so today we're going to be working on making decals and how to get them ready for like mailing out or selling. So let's get right into it. We're going to go from A to point Z on this one, like all the steps that you need. All right, so let's get started.
All right, so recently I was asked to, grab an image outside of Design Space and bring it in. And I said, sure. And since spooky season is right around the corner, I'm going to go ahead and grab something like this. I think it's really cute. I'm over at Design Bundles. I use Design Bundles sometimes when I don't have any creativity. It's a way for me to support other artists as well. I do have like a premium and corporate license, which also means I can sell these images in my shop because I have the license to do so. Now, I mean, rule of thumb, even with these places, I've seen sometimes certain items or certain characters that are familiar, Hello Kitten and stuff like that. So just be careful with some of these images and their likenesses, as, that may be a grayish area for, like copyright infringement. I just kind of stay away from that type of stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to go ahead and click download now. And once we've done that, it'll bring up a file over here. Let's move on to the next portion of the video where you actually get to see my computer screen and what I'm doing. Let's go.
All right, so we have selected our item. We hit download, right? You hit download now. And then what's going to happen is you are going to hit open file. But let's just say that that happens and you clicked outside of the screen and you're not exactly sure how to pull it up or where it even saved. You might be driving yourself insane trying to figure it out. You can just simply come up here to where you have your little three dots. You are going to go to your downloads and then you are just going to hit open your file. You're going to want to extract all. You're going to hit extract. And once it does that, it's going to pull up like this type of stuff here. If you don't have a Mac, we'll go back. I'll show you that again. I don't have a Mac, so I'm going to just go into this one and we are going to pull this one out of here and we are going to just upload that into Design Space. Let's get into doing that.
Okay, so now that we've downloaded our file, we're going to go ahead and click on upload. All right, we're going to click on upload image again, and then we are just going to open the file. You can go ahead and hit like browse, and then you can go to like your downloads, right? And then you would just open it and go ahead and grab your PNG file. All right, so once that's in there, you're just going to hit continue. All right, so now that we uploaded our photo, one thing that I want you guys to get used to doing is going ahead and hitting preview single layer. Now, if there was something wrong, like maybe there was like something inside of one of the O's or in here, I could simply just click on that and it would get rid of it. Another thing that you can check as well is if you are, grabbing a file, you can see if this looks a little bit fuzzy, because that goes a long way when you are trying to work with files. I'm going to, one of these days, do a short on, how to check this a little bit better. I may even do it today and upload it just as a short, but let me know if you're going to be interested in that, because if anything, I can either let you know I've done it or just get to it because it's about time. But all right, we're going to hit apply and continue. Now, when it comes to this, since it is a single layer, we are going to convert it there, because if we hit flat graphic, that's specifically for stickers. But as it says down here, full color image for print and cut projects with a home printer. So like, you can't do this and do this. It's weird. So we're going to go ahead and hit single layer, because even if we wanted to change it later on to a sticker, we still could. Now, once you see this here and you get to this screen, I'm going to give you a bit of advice that I would really like you guys to try to follow. If you're new or if you didn't know you can actually do this, get used to doing this, because when you're uploading images, let's say you had an image, all right, we uploaded this image today, and in a month from now, you wanted this image. You didn't save it to any of your projects or anything like that, you're gonna have to go through all of your uploads. And if you're like me, who are constantly, you know, adding like new artwork, it's gonna be stuck. So please go ahead and make sure that you, like, you know, just say Spooky Babe, and I changed it to DB for design bundles, which just lets me know that I didn't draw this. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna hit upload. And as you can see, there's one in the background, but there's this one right here. Let's get rid of the other one. All right. So as you can see, there's this one right here. We're just going to change it by its biggest size, and we're going to, well, if you're going to let me change it, you're going to let me change it. That would probably help if you had like your number lock on, you know, that can happen because this user error a lot of times with this stuff, right? All right, so we've got it over at the 6 inches. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next portion of the video. All right, man, it's been a while. I feel so weird making a video, but it's all right. Let's go. Next part of the video. All right, so we're gonna get ready to cut, and one of the first things that's gonna ask me is if you want to save your project. Now, with stuff like this, when you're working with vinyl, it doesn't really matter. When you are working with stickers, I would definitely suggest to be sure to always save your project, just in case something happens, you lose internet connection or something like that. Especially when making stickers, man, it can be like a nightmare. So, because if you don't save it the correct way, and you try, like if you're doing print and cut and you don't save it the right way and you try to come back, it's just not ever gonna cut in the right space. Don't ask me how I know, especially with like 40 pages of stickers that I've printed and stuff like that. But yeah, don't do that. All right, so we don't have to save. It's gonna move into the next portion. And I know recently we were going through something on Design Space where like the image itself was like super black and you didn't have like this outline. So if that is still happening to you, please go ahead and update your Cricut. This was recently done in another update, and I genuinely want to like applaud Cricut for that. This was like something that was going on for like a week and a half, and then they set it on update and they fixed it. So kudos to you guys for that. It's not a lot that I give people praise. I expect things to work when I pay for them, but this I'm pleasantly surprised with this. Anyway, so we are going to go ahead and hit continue. Now, I am working with a certain type of material. You're going to see that in the next one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mess around with the premium vinyl textured metallic for this cut. If that doesn't work, or if you have intricate cuts, you are going to want to go with washi sheet. I'm kind of hoping that my premium vinyl textured metallic will work. I had that set up for my maker before, but my maker kind of no longer works. After an update, it kind of like went cuckoo on me and stopped working. So that's why I haven't made videos for so long. I had to catch up on a lot of my orders in my shop, but I'm back. Orders are all caught up, not, well, you know what? I am cutting stuff, so they're all cut up. All right, I'm going to stop being a dweeb and a whole dork, and we're going to get into the next portion of the video. Let's go. And if you can see, so this is something that's happening too. Like, this is kind of cool. So it says it's 100% done cutting, right? But it's still cutting. So don't be like, what's going on? I think that just means that it's communicated from the computer to the actual, like, Cricut, and it knows what to cut. So I think that's all set. I wouldn't worry too much if it says 100% and it's still cutting. All right. So don't get alarmed by that. All right, enough. Let's get into the next portion.
All right. So our decal is nice and cut out. Now, one of the first things that we were going to want to do when you are getting ready to mail one of these guys out is you're going to want to grab yourself some transfer tape. Now, me personally, I prefer to use my StarCraft transfer tape. I know that a lot of people like the ones with like the lines and stuff. I personally don't like them. I feel they get in the way. But again, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. If you like that, that's totally fine. You know, like, it's up to you, honestly, what makes you comfortable. Because if you're not comfortable when you're doing something, then it's not going to be fun, right? Let's be honest. That's like wearing a pair of shoes. If you're not comfortable in the shoes, you're not going to want to wear them ever again, and just gonna rot in your closet, right? So always be sure that you do what's good for you and what's comfortable for you, because otherwise you're just gonna hate it and then you're not gonna be comfortable doing it anymore. All right, so I'm gonna pull this off of screen real quick because I was trying to get the other transfer tape back on the roll here without being too much of a problem. All right, so it's kind of hard doing this on camera. You know, I don't have the right angles. I don't want to put like the right angles on here. I'm not trying to show myself, you know, I don't want to show myself today. I'm not planning for this stuff. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be on camera. All right. So one of the first things that I like to do once I get my transfer tape on there is just kind of trim down the transfer tape a little bit. Like get the excess off. And if I'm going to be doing like a bunch of stuff, I keep little pieces like this. But I know right now I'm not going to need it. So once I've done this, I like to use the little extra portions of it. Like you see this here. I like to use the extra tape to kind of get everything down. Then I just grab my squeegee and I'm going to want to scratch it on there really nice. Now, if you are trying to sell some of the decals, sometimes, as you can see, even if your table is clean, you're going to get little pieces of hair or dust or stuff like that. Try to remove those if you're selling your decals. You're not going to want, you know, if you opened up a decal that you got from a store and it's got, you can tell when something's a lint or a dust and a hair. Try to get rid of anything that's got hairs on it. I mean, you know, I don't think that's going to look too good. If you can get rid of the dust, get rid of the dust. All right, so now you've got this on here all nice. You are going to peel up one of the corners, okay? Now the next thing that you're going to do is get it ready. And what I mean by getting it ready is by creating, as you can see here, yep. This is why I tell you guys sometimes to save the backings of some of your stickers or other decals that you've worked on, because again, sometimes this happens no matter what you try. So, all right, always put your fingers away from the decal itself and you kind of just want to pull it off, right? And you're just going to do the same thing down here. Just going to want to grab one of the corners and make sure. And see, it happened again. This is where I always say, keep those backings. The backings from the stickers, the backings from the other vinyls that you use, because I wouldn't send this out. Like this is gonna aggravate somebody and then the customer is gonna get upset because it's gonna stay stuck. Again, watch. See? So it's gonna stay stuck again. So that's something you wanna kind of remove. So let's go ahead and get this off of here. And that happens sometimes with your cutting settings. So if you're not sure exactly what's going on, double check your cutting setting. But for me, I know I always have like a bunch of like my matte UV laminate papers and stuff like that. So I'll just literally, oops, sorry. Hold on, let's get you guys, there you go. All right, so I'll just like take stuff like this and I'll just make sure I put it somewhat like that, which is just trying to basically get it on there as straight as I can. Okay, now I'm just gonna cut this stuff, and yes, it kind of looks dirty. My Fiskars mat, I ended up cleaning it with something, and man, it is like the ink from it, it's just coming up on everything. I'm gonna have to get a new mat. I mean, I have had this one for like the longest time, but whatever. All right, so now once you've done that, you are gonna kind of want to get this, and let me kind of bring this out a little bit. All right. So now you're gonna kind of want to bring this to your little cutting thing, and the first thing that you're gonna wanna do is make sure that you get the side that's the straightest down here. Now you're just gonna line up the bottom of your decal, all right? You're gonna trim that, all right? The reason why you're gonna trim it is because it's gonna look nice and neat. You see how this kind of looks all crooked? That's not a good look for a sale. Like, you know, that doesn't look good to me. So we're gonna do the same thing on all 4 corners. Just gonna make sure that everything is all set. We're gonna get that dirty looking stuff out of there. That was like right there. All right. So now we've removed all of the dirty edges. You can get rid of this. And I keep dinging this dang thing. All right, so one of the first things that I like to do is lift up one of the corners. All right, and then I just trim a little bit off. All right, I'm gonna stick this on myself for right now just to get it out of the way. And then I do the same on the other side. I just trim a little bit of it off just so they have an idea on where to, like, you know, pull it back. See, kind of makes it like an easy peel. All right, so one more time, I just take this and I make sure that everything is on here really nice. And again, we'll try it again. I don't know why for some reason that one wasn't working. But, yep, there you go. That one, that side's really good. Let's get this back on here. And then, I mean, these should be fine because we already removed it and added it to another backing. But if you're doing this with the regular one, you still always want to double check everything. Because there's nothing worse than, you know, having a customer that messes up a decal. All right, so now you've got this. Now let's go ahead and get into the next couple items that I usually add into my decals when I send them out in the mail. So let's get into that. All right, so for the next few things you're gonna need is an envelope. You are going to need an alcohol pad and a decal instruction. Now I can, what I can do is I can do something like this and put it inside of Design Space so you guys will have it and link it in here. And then what I just normally do, right, is I also have like little plastics. I'm gonna see if the ones that I have here will actually fit, because I'm not sure if they'll fit. Hold on one sec. Should have grabbed it beforehand. All right, so I'll take like my decal, I'll stick it in here, right? I'll put my cardboard in here. Sometimes I can actually like add extra cardboard. I'll just grab like a piece of cardstock, right? And I'll just cut it down to size, right? So like I can take like a piece of cardboard like this. I think these are, let's see. So this is gonna be 5.5 by, let's say 6.5, right? So let's see here. We'll do 5.5. Let's just say right here. All right, and then we'll do 6.5. So we'll do like right there. I think that's about the size. All right, I could be mistaken, but let's just double check. So we're just gonna take that and we're going to, and obviously it'd be done with a paper cutter so it'd look a lot better. But basically, and if you wanted to, you can always take like a little bit, let's see, where are they? You can always grab one of these and all it is just like, let's pull this back out. So all you would do is just take a little bit of this, add some in the center. You would literally just do that. Now it doesn't move, as you guys can see. I always like to have this part clear so that when I'm taking this portion up, right, I fold this over and I have this one all nice and neat on the front. And then I add my decal card to kind of give it a little bit of extra, right? And then I would take my card, I would stick the envelope in. Now there's 2 ways of going about doing this, and I'm just gonna use one of my labels that I have here. So one of the first ways you can go about doing this is you're gonna like grab, you can always close this, right? Make sure this is nice in here. You can always grab this and then put your address with your label stuff on here, right? But what I like to do instead, right? Like I'll have like my extra pieces of laminate, like this stuff, right? So what I'll do, for instance, and I don't know where my stuff, you know, I had everything ready. I always do this to you guys. I always do this. Anyway, I'll have like my little bits and strips of laminate that I'll put on the back here. And then I'll take one of my stickers from my shop and I'll just simply put that on there. And it looks pretty cool. All right, here we go. I found it. I put it away. You know, I don't know if that happens to you guys. You go to put stuff away and you do such a good job. You put it away from yourself, right? So for instance, I would take like my vinyl here, like my laminate, right? And I would obviously peel this portion off here. I'd put this on here. And then I just add my little sticker like that. And you can always add like a little message. Obviously these would be down. But yeah, then you would have your address and your stuff on the front. So it's really relatively easy. I didn't push this hard enough down, but yeah, this is the easiest way to like package your stuff. And again, if you guys are interested in getting the decal application instructions, we will definitely talk about that. I'll put that in, I'll draw one up really quickly and put it in the description. All right, well, whew, man, thanks for watching. I want to say thank you again. I do love this vinyl. I don't remember where I got it from, unfortunately. This is something that I've had in my mix for a while, but all right, thanks so much for watching. If you guys have any other videos that you guys are interested in letting, you know, getting made, just let me know. Whew, it's hot. It is very sticky in this office. I have very bright lights on in here and I want to get out. So thank you again for watching. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. Check out some of my other videos. They're doing really well. And I thank each and every one of you for being here today. Thanks so much. Bye.